Good evening, and welcome to RockTruth Radio. I am your host, Selena K, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. RockTruth Radio was founded on He who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. RockTruth Radio is the cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crises of today. RockTruth is designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had that impacts, affects, and infects generationally. RockTruth Radio is here to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. It is indeed a kingdom renaissance. Welcome, fellow truthers. How are we?
Yay. We are awesome.
Awesome. It is good to see everybody. We gonna. Can we see you, Shantae, today? Or
Shantae said no.
You know what?
No, Shantae. She said black screen with this little circle and circle man.
Not even a picture. Okay. Well, today is such a special day for us. We have a special show because we have such a special guest. Miss Carolyn Wilson is here with us.
Woo!
Author, producer, motivational speaker.
Look how I'm on, frozen.
And encourager, motivator, weight loss.
Influencer,
right? Like, welcome to the show, Miss Carolyn.
the Black Queen.
Yes. Oh, and overall. How are you today? You look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing wonderful. I had to come get my pearls. I had to put my pearls on.
That's what's up. I like it.
I had to keep it all lady today. So
Yes,
okay.
I love it.
Gotta rock my truth.
Yeah.
You are definitely representing well, and your truth is well rocked.
Yes, there we go. Because we got to do it every now and then. We gotta let that inner queen just come on out.
That's
now, like I said, I'll be rock truth earlier. I was on a different kind of queendom. I was on a like power to the people type of queendom. I was like, I need a pop of color. So I was like, let me tap into Ocean. Y'all don't know who that is. Look around.
Okay.
You was popping to that a little bit the other day too. I had saw you with your leg out in them shoes. I saw you, boo. Yes.
It was one of those myself. It was one of those feeling myself days, right?
Okay, you having a lot of those lately. I'm loving it.
Listen, hey, we can't go nowhere. Things aren't really, things are open, but not really. You still gotta be away from people. So I'm like, you know what?
Right.
I'm gonna still do. I'm gonna go put my little shoes on. I'm gonna go take my little camera. Once I figured out how to do that it does self timer. Bam, instant photo shoot.
I know that's right. I know that's right. That sometimes you just got to do that.
And it's not like I'm like that all the time. So don't think that. We gotta have those moments. Cause I see Will face like,
We are definitely glad to have you. I want to definitely jump in because you have a lot going on that I didn't even know about. Like seriously, so
surprise.
I know, right? I mean, all in little you. That is crazy.
That's it. So, just little old me.
Little old me. So you know what? Let's start from the beginning. How did all of this come about? From the motivational speaking to the book to an award-winning documentary.
Wow. I mean, let me tell you. So how did this all come about? All based upon my maker. I'm trying to tell you, God had a plan for me that I didn't even know was going to happen. So I'm a survivor. Let's just cut it down to the chase. I'm a survivor of sexual child abuse and domestic violence. But the child abuse, the sexual child abuse is really what laid the foundation for the rest of my life, right? For the good, bad, and indifferent. And it's just that in the beginning portion of my life, right, it just wasn't that great. But that was the foundation. So anybody that knows anything about foundations are built upon anything that you want to build it on. When you build something or you build it on a foundation, you can either build it on rock, you can build it on sand, you can build it on whatever. So I would say that my foundation was a little rocky earlier on. And it wasn't until, I was able to get into my truth, right? To start putting things back together to build that foundation even more solid than it was before. Because here's the thing, in order to build something, you need usually two types of material. You need mortar and you need brick. You need them both. The brick will only stand for so long and then eventually it's going to tumble. The mortar is not going to stand at all. It's just going to flop down, right? It's not going to stay and stand. So you need them both together. So I got to a point where it was like, you know what? Yeah. Now it's time to start building this foundation and make it solid. Yeah. And then here we go. And I'm making it solid. And guess what? Because I have that foundation, I can continue to build on it. Because now I know that it's not going anywhere. It's not going to falter. It's not going to blow over. It's solid as a rock. Yeah. But
yeah. I like it. Hey, so, Selena, she don't recognize that her mic is muted. But yeah, no, that's exactly what the Bible says. The Bible says, hey, you came back. We were sitting here. I'm looking at you over there, this texting away.
I'm pushing everything out to the group. I'm pushing all these the live feed to the group.
Yeah,
so everybody can see it.
Yeah, because
I'm giving YouTube link because the old one doesn't work.
Oh yeah, I'm
the old one.
Link. Yeah,
because it's tripped out. So as I was clicking through some of the screens, my computer just completely went black. So I have I have no idea what has transpired. Yeah, right. Because I'm glad the stream stayed up. But to your credit, on foundation, I think a lot of people fail to realize how important your foundation is in your life,
right?
Because we have the tendency to feel like I want to build it fast. I want quick money. I want cool friends. I want a fast car. I want and so it becomes this I want.
Right.
And so you build things up and you get them really fast. But the foundation that it's built on is shaky. And when it breaks down, when it falls down, when it starts to fall apart, guess what? All that stuff that you built on top of that foundation just flutters away.
I don't care how
pretty. But here's the tripped out thing. Right. It don't matter how pretty it is, but here's the tripped out thing. And this is what I'm learning to do more so, especially with new Christians, just people in general that want to make themselves or get themselves better, I'm teaching them that you can change your foundation. You can rebuild your foundation. You can go back. You got to tear down the house first, but you can go back and rebuild your foundation. You can add to your foundation. You can create it anew. A lot of people feel like, oh, once they fail, that's it. They can't make it no more. No. Rebuild that foundation. Restart. Get back on your feet and go forward.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's literally, I mean,
but yeah,
it's literally exactly what happened with me.
You said that's what happened with you?
Yeah, that's literally what happened with me. So, I mean, having, building all of the things that I've built for myself, regarding, my career, my family, I would just literally just say my career, my family. You notice I didn't say me. You notice I didn't say my well-being. I said my career, my family.
Can you hear her?
Yes, I can. I can hear her. I can hear you. Everything is fine right now. Everything is fine. I can hear through. Hold on. Let me just double check Facebook real quick, because everything was fine.
I can't tell if we on air or not.
I can.
But in case we are on air, if y'all can hear.
Yeah, keep going.
Just keep going. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're good, guys. We're still live.
Yeah, that's literally what happened with me. So, okay.
Yeah, we're still good.
Okay. All right. So, somebody waiting in this other one. Let me let them know. Go to this other thing.
Okay.
So, anywho, yeah, no, literally, that's Reverend Will. That's what I was talking about earlier about, everything that I built before. It was primarily my family, my career, and it had nothing to do with me. Because I wasn't torn back down. I just kept building. I kept building on that foundation that just wasn't even solid at all.
Yeah.
It was just rocky, very, very rocky. So, and I can attest to, like, even, I wouldn't allow myself to, I would only allow myself to go so far in my career. I wanted to go further. I'm capable of going further. I knew I could go further. But I knew that if I went further, because my foundation wasn't, I didn't realize it was actually the foundation, but I knew and I realized that, if I take this any further, my life, everything that's already behind me is going to catch up and it's going to crumble. Everything's going to crumble around me. And everything that I worked so hard to build is just going to fall. So I found this comfortable space to get ahead, but not that far ahead, right? Just to find that safe, because you find that, you ever remember, remember, like, maybe sneaking, or it was time for you to stay in the house, and like, can't go back out, and he's like, all right, I'm sneaking outside, and you knew exactly where to step.
Right.
You knew exactly where to step, so something wouldn't creep.
Right.
So that's what happened with me. I got to a point where I knew exactly where to step, so things wouldn't creep. Right. Even though I was still building, but I knew exactly where to step.
Yes.
That's interesting, ain't it? That we can go through life like that and say, you know what? If I do that, I know I'm gonna get caught. But if I do this, I won't get caught. That's crazy. I never really even thought of it like that.
Crazy, right?
So I have a question. In reference to the book and the film, are they one and the same? Because I regret the fact that I didn't get a chance to read the book. Usually I read the books before I bring on the guests, but I didn't know that you had a book.
He was like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know.
I did not know you had a book. I did not know what the film was about. And to see what the film was about and to see it, I'm like, well, okay, well. Nah, I didn't know that.
He's like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
I did not. And I'm like completely taken back. But I mean, is the film and the book, do they mirror each other? Or
well, here's the thing. It everything has layers, right? Everything has sense. Well, let's just keep on this analogy of building, right? So we're assuming we're talking about a house, building something that's strong, right? So there's always, you have you got your foundation, you got different layers, you got floor 1, floor 2, wherever you're trying to go, then you got your different rooms that all have a different function, but collectively it's all together, it's a house. So they all have their own lifeline, they all have their own heartbeat, but collectively it's all still within my house. So prior to that was my blog. I call it my little Kia Pet blog.
Okay.
It's Magnify Your Essence, which is where that's the umbrella for everything. Magnify Your Essence, which then led into Magnify Thoughts, which that's my book, which then led to The Good Life, which is my film. So the foundation to it all is healing from past trauma and abuse.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
that trauma and abuse for me was sexual child abuse.
Yes. After seeing the video clip, which I'm like, I didn't know. I did not. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna be. I just saw it.
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that truth.
Yeah, right, Carolyn. I will say this: just looking at you and meeting you, this is like my third time meeting you. You would not know that you went through that, right? Like just because you don't portray it. I've met people that have gone through child abuse, that have gone through some type of abuse in their life, and you can see it. They don't bring it up, but you can see it. Like I don't see that at all with you. Like I would not. That would not be. That would you if we were to meet in person, I'll be like, you just everything is happy, go, right? But I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. Like
even that though, that's like also because I'm like you too, Miss Carolyn. That's also the same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. So it's like the same thing that's also what she's displaying, the silent is happy, but at the same time it's also the cover. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see, I would have never guessed that as it being the cause. But of course, just knowing what it's like to be heavy and obese and overweight, you're eating stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you also eating and consuming the way it's all. So I definitely know the association with obesity and depression, but I would not have guessed that. But now to see that, I know why the cage bird sings. I know why you smile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Inspiration to be able to even just say. Right. So
wow.
So dope.
Thank you. That is kind of dope, right? Two times dope. All those dope. And that's what that. And that's literally where. That's literally where the film. It talks about, it's a choice. Like, and you want to make a change in your life, you have to make a choice. So, as I described before, my choice earlier, it wasn't a choice. It's literally what was given to me, right? That's the life that was already weaved out for me. And I was kind of like already in this little cocoon because that's how it was made, right? But now when you know better, you do better. Right. So I can make a choice on which way I want to go with this. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to, ignore it and just pretend and just remember where to step, right? Right. Remember where to step and hope that I don't get caught. I don't fall through the rafters. I don't step on that wrong one and make the whole house squeak.
Right.
Wake everybody up. Like, what you doing? Get everybody's attention. Or do I just try to, let me repair this. Let me take a moment. Let me stop and let me change this narrative. Let me rebuild this. And that way I can walk around freely and not have to tiptoe and not have to watch my steps. Because guess what? I'm not supposed to watch my steps. God's supposed to order my steps. So in order for that to happen, I have to let everything just be free. I got to let everything go.
Yeah.
And come on, help me build this stuff back up and build it up stronger than what it ever was before.
Okay. So we do have the trailer for The Good Life. Change begins with the choice. There's a bunch of different categories that you're in or different award film festivals that you're in. Is that what?
Yes.
So if you want to like introduce the movie before we do the trailer, we'll discuss after. But and then tell us what different film festivals you're in. It's a lot.
It's a oh my God, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so wow. I mean, you know what? Why don't you just play it? And I think it'll speak for itself.
I know that's right, sis. Go ahead.
It'll speak for itself.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I remember my father being this person that was loving. But it wasn't until I got older to realize that some of those childhood memories and stories weren't actually normal.
Caroline Wilson was molested as a child, and it took 30 years before her molester was in prison. It didn't happen until he assaulted another child.
I remember those supposed to be.
Sorry for that.
It's okay. Is it a delay on it?
It just went away.
It's a little bit.
It went away.
Okay, you want to just replay? It's okay to replay because it's not that long of a clip, but I would rather play all the way through if it can because it's kind of choppy. I want them to see this. I do. I mean, this smallest snippet, I was completely taken back. Like, wow. Let's see if we can get it.
I remember my father being this person that was loving. But it wasn't until I got older to realize that some of those childhood memories and stories weren't actually normal.
Caroline Wilson was molested as a child, and it took 30 years before her molester was in prison. It didn't happen until he assaulted another child.
I remember those supposed to have been court cases. That never happened. It just went away. My father went away. The abuse went away. And so did justice.
Wow.
I mean, like you can see two different people in that video, like who you are standing before.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Like not just the weight. I mean, I'm talking about we're looking at two different people. Like that wasn't even you. That was one heck of a representative. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm serious. Yeah. I look back at some of my pictures. I just had a picture that came up this week. I was looking out there.
I still don't know who you are.
I know, right? But this is who I am. Who you met initially was broken, battered, just not. No, I was not. That's what I'm talking about. So all you saw was smiling, laughing, happy go, because that's the cover. But it's also the me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying, Miss Carolyn?
I understand. I definitely understand. Oh my gosh, like just even watching that again, and it's so interesting. Like I know my film, I know my story, right? I know my truth. I don't like to say story. It's my truth.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And just even
nobody make this up.
Can't make this up, right? Can't make this up. So I'm like, I'm even getting like I got flustered. Like I'm sitting here like, oh my God, I'm sweating because it just fills me up, right? It fills me up with this level of you ever like it's like when your parent looks at you when they're just like so proud of you. Yeah. Or when you're so proud of something that you did, or it's like, wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Like I look at it and I look at it not even in the terms of that I did it, and I don't look at it in terms of that's me. I look at it in terms of wow, that's me. Like you said, you know, you can identify the difference, and the representative was so strong. Like you know, like. It was so strong. That representative, you would never have known.
Nope.
Never have known.
I don't know. You ain't got to tell me.
I can see y'all didn't talk to each other before. She used that word. She used that word all the time.
No, listen, but not like that. Like it is so
not like that.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy how we relate to each other and we
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the weirdest, craziest. Like this is like almost sometimes looking in the mirror. But for me, I know that it's on purpose because for me, it's about mentorship. And so I like you do a lot of your live feeds and stuff. And that's why I was like, you and Jesus got a little inside joke today because he knows that I, even as much personality as I do not do live anythings like getting out there doing my lives
Right.
where those were like
Right.
push through. I don't do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm
Pushing
saying? I
moments.
don't.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
pushing
Gotcha.
moments, and it was to force me to get out there and do it and get past embarrassments and all those other things, failures, etc. But you're
Right.
before me. I always look for my Elizabeths, and you're before me, and you're doing it, and everything that I will do, you've already crossed waters and bridges, and so you're here to teach and
Wow.
show. And so
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna say that it's because it's in you. It's in you. Because here's the thing. If I was to tell you that
yeah.
I'm actually truly, people don't believe it, but I'm really an introvert.
Nah.
I'm an
Nah.
introvert. I'm an
Nah.
introvert that
Nah.
learned how to
Not.
become an extrovert.
Not from your show. I've seen your show. Your show is not an introvert show.
See my show.
Hey, I'll be watching. Y'all be.
We having a good time. We have a good time. We have a great time.
Hey,
That's
your show be so bumping. I'm like,
you can saying
like I think it's other people in the house with you.
no, and it's so like so lit. Like I am so serious. I'm gonna pause us before we go into the next question because of course we have to go into our first commercial break. I forgot I was doing presenting a new song today, but I can't remember which one I was gonna start with. Oh, I know now. Oh goodness gracious, this is the one. All right, guys. So, Will, what do we have going on around us this week? Locally, nationally.
Let's see. Locally, ooh, it's almost that time to vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking
Just
of,
saying.
I got a clip
Just
from.
saying.
Yeah. I got a clip from Yellow Pain about voting or whatever. That's gonna come up
Yeah.
for our song
Yeah.
today. But definitely go.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna definitely say go and check out RockTruth2.com, where you too can rock truth.
Yeah.
It's about being clothed in your right mind, holistically, physically, and mentally, and spiritually. And so you can be clothed
Yeah.
physically at RockTruth2.com. Rock Truth. Two. That is. I know it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get you some culture too. And then also, guys, we also have our Rock Truth GoFundMe that we just created, and this is imperative for us because let me tell you something. To be able to speak truth uninhibited cost. Okay, it's not a lot of people to get behind you when you're going to actually speak the truth, and we're not willing to sacrifice not one thing. And so, in order
Yeah.
to do that, we have to take customary kingdom donations. And you can look into our GoFundMe page, Rock Truth Radio GoFundMe. We'll put it up into the link as well. But please donate, make a Kingdom customary donation to just fund our efforts. All right, guys. Is it anything else? Well, we're gonna go into our song. Anything else? Or you're good.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
rock out.
All right, this is Yellow Pain with My Vote Don't Count.
Someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
That's such a dope PSA.
It really. Yeah, the mess. I was like really looking at it and totally forgot to actually like come in properly.
Oh no, you good. I got you. We back, y'all. Is this the dance? Is this the dance? Should I be dancing right now? I'm just gonna.
You said is it what?
This is the dance break.
What?
This is
It's
the
about
dance
that
break.
goal.
This all y'all gonna get out of me.
Absolutely nothing at all.
That's
You might as
it.
well
That's
get
it.
it in.
That's it. Be like,
The fact that we have to have a dance break during our show.
yeah, we have to.
Every show.
Every show, there's a dance break.
What?
Gets it in.
Oh, I can't wait to
There you
edit
go.
this out of the video.
Yes, we are back with our second half of the show. I love that clip back. What was his name? Yellow Pain. I'm sorry.
Yellow
That
Pain with the yellow hair.
Yeah, well, and dropping the bars and knowledge. I loved it. I loved it.
You remember Dale, don't you? He reminded me of Dale.
Our friend Dale. He's so funny. Hey Dale, shout out to Dale. That's my boy now. Shout
Yeah.
out to Dale. Yeah, but he know. He reminded me of us too. We are back with our second half of the show. Where we rock or absolutely nothing at all. We still have our guest, Miss Carolyn Wilson, and we also have our subject matter for the month, which is what are we trading down generationally to our children, good or bad? But let's go back, and kind of like finish up with Miss Carolyn and also get a response from her in reference to what are we trading generationally that is good or bad. So in reference to the film, has it been officially released, or is there a release date, or what's happening?
I'm sorry. What else we say?
What's going on with it? I'm sorry.
Gotcha. So I'm sorry because I was talking. Anyway, no, it hasn't been an official release date. No, there hasn't been an official release date, but it is being screened at various film festivals. Right now, it's in the film festival circuit. So,
okay,
which is usually like about a good 1 to 2 year stint. Potentially. So, unless someone picks it up, and then we're gonna put it out in the atmosphere.
That's it.
So, but right now,
proclaim it, name it.
And claim it already done. Boom. So
that's right.
Right now, thank you. So right now it's actually being featured at the International Social Change Film Festival out in Chicago.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm a little bummed because I would have been in Chicago right about now, but that's not happening. But all this week is featured. It's the block that I'm in. Is dealing with sexual assault and trauma and mental health awareness. So it's kind of like in this umbrella of all the other films. And I watch most of the films that are in the same block with me, and I'm like, whoa, it's kind of deep. And it's for me, out of all the festivals, like it's already been featured in Italy, in Florence, Italy. Yeah, it's been featured in Florence, Italy. It was featured over the summer in the UK, which I'm really bummed about that too, because I would have been on a plane and been over in the UK. I would have been over in Italy. Like by heck or high water, I don't care if they had to put me in a luggage. I'd have been over there somehow, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Don't go. The next time you go to the UK, please don't go by yourself. You take a travel buddy, me. Just let me know when you're available. Yeah, I be having to throw that out there. Some people don't know, Will. Some people don't know. They'll just travel by themselves. What? Gotcha. She didn't know I was available. She didn't know. She didn't know that it's a not to travel.
I'm sure she knew.
She didn't know.
I didn't know.
That's my point.
I'm sorry. I don't know. But anyway.
I want to ask a question, but I don't want to get I don't want you to have to give away any spoilers either. Just listening to the trailer, you were like, for real, you were like, everything seemed to go away. Like, what do you mean? Like, so there was no trial, or it finally came to trial, or that's a spoiler?
No, I mean it. Okay, I can tell you this.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I talked about in the it said that everything went away, right? My father went away, the abuse went away, and so did justice.
Yeah.
So I was molested from as far as I can remember until about 14 years old. So my whole formative years, physically abused, up until I was about 14, and then there was still, I guess you could say, some mental abuse, I guess, for the remainder of my teenage years, up until about when I got to 17. So once I turned 17 and I actually graduated high school, because I was one of those kids, I graduated early.
One of those kids.
Yeah. Those kids, exactly. So I when I was 17, in the clip, when I was 17, I told, and nothing happened because I was 17 and I was about to turn 18. So everything just went away. So that's where I said, and so did justice. So what happened, I had, the best way I could describe it, and and I just happen to have these pictures here because this was like an epiphany with me the other, since we've been on quarantine, you get a lot of introspective stuff.
Yeah.
So right, this picture right here, well, less that girl right there. So that right there, see, when I keep Wonder Woman.
Oh, you yeah, see what you did. This is just stuff you can't even make up. I'm a Wonder Woman girl. I used to go like seriously when I traveled in my Wonder Woman blanket. Wonder Woman hat. Wonder Woman.
This 7-year-old. Why are you looking at her like that?
Because he always, and he knows, and I'm like next to him in the shot, and he gonna look over at me.
What are you doing? Well, what's help me out here? I'm like,
oh yeah,
I can see you too. I can see you down there. See, I see Mary, and I see you, and then Shantae's over here. Or Shantae's over there.
There you go.
I see everybody.
She popped in.
Yeah, she popped in. Literally, that scared me. I was like, oh.
She's like, bam.
You get this right out of nowhere. Bam. I was like, oh. Didn't know you were there all this time. Like, say something.
So let me get back to the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yes. Wonder Woman. So here's the thing. This was 7-year-old little Carolyn that was being molested. But as you can see, she was happy. She was Wonder Woman. She knew she was Wonder Woman. She knew it. But nobody told her that she really was.
Teach this.
Nobody told her that she really was Wonder Woman. And I couldn't understand why I loved Wonder Woman. I thought she was like the best thing ever. She was so beautiful. She was just like, oh my God. Like, she just she makes people tell their truth. Like she has this.
Yes, to make you tell it.
Be in all places. Like she's just full of she's calmness, she's strength, she's beauty. She's like, don't be don't wait, okay, yeah. Who's
what
just
happened? she over there talking. She needs to.
Okay. All right. I just happened to look up and I see one boy.
It's the echo. It's not me talking.
Don't let me get the lasso out.
It's just an echo.
Right.
Thank you. I ain't it. But yes, okay. Wonder Woman. Connection with Wonder Woman.
So I knew I was Wonder Woman, apparently, because I wanted to be Wonder Woman. I was so excited. I remember this was Halloween. Obviously, it was Halloween.
Right.
And I remember just being like so happy I was Wonder Woman. I was so Wonder Woman. But here's the thing. Then here comes 17-year-old Carolyn. Where's she at? Here she go. That's me, 17.
There we go. Yep.
Still look the
Hoop
same.
earrings.
Yep.
Oh, I was Rashida girl for real.
Oh, okay.
Did I have two pair girl? No, I only had one pair on. No, see, that was an inside joke for my family.
You left up.
My name is Carolyn. So, like, my name was Carolyn. Well, my name is Carolyn, duh. And then my cousin name was Holly. And then everyone else in our family was like Naima and Imani. They had more ethnic names. So, my cousin Holly and I, we both said that we were like Shaniqua and Qualisha. We made up some kind of like name to give us some ethnicity. So, my Rashida girl look. Like, yes, I too was a Rashida girl. Yes. Hi, my name is Carolyn. I used to wear 2 blue pair earrings, at least 2 pair.
Right.
So in any event, so like I said, 17-year-old Carolyn is the 17-year-old that finally told what has happened to her. She got the courage after being silent for so long, after starting to really understand and realize, like, yo, this all this stuff that went down wasn't cool. Like, she found her voice. She finally found the courage and found her voice. And what happened? They just flicked her away. And it's like it didn't even matter.
Wow.
It's like, you know what?
Yep.
Now, you know, you knew you were Wonder Woman, but we're going to validate that you're not. We're not even going to pay attention to anything that you said. You told us, you know what? You're 17. You're about to be 18. Go on with your life.
Wow. And that's not uncommon. That's working in human services with children and DCS, and you know, this is very, very, very common. And what's so crazy is that, you know, we don't like to discuss it, and then we don't like to discuss it with our children. I attended a church where, you know, after the fact, let me say that it was not okay to openly discuss these conversations with children, even though I'm advocating for the fact of, hey, your child is going to be discussing this with or without you possibly. And it would be sad for them to be discussing this to you after the fact that they've been touched at school, because we've seen how the kindergartners are touching each other under the desk. We have 2-year-olds perping on each other at daycare. And because you fail to educate your child, because you feel like your child doesn't need to know what's an appropriate spot, and you know that hey, talk to me about this. Did somebody because of those things, a lot of it gets swept under the rug. You know, and I'd be shocked to find out how many, you know, mothers do a lot of the sweeping. They'll sweep and clean out whenever they won't clean up that house. They'll sweep that one.
Wow.
So, Miss Carolyn, one question. With the topic that we have for this month, what do you believe, you know, that we are passing down, trading to the next generation, almost like passing the baton to the next generation, even if it's just what you personally are that is positive or negative?
Well, I believe that we're passing down, and this is for the negative. We're passing down in invalidation. We're passing down that that individuals are worth less.
Okay.
That there's no value to you, to your voice, to
teach
your being, to who you are, to you are who I tell you that you are, and guess what? I'm telling you that you're nothing, so you don't matter. So we're instilling that in our children, right? Unbeknownst to us half the time, right? And you know, and I can even say I'm guilty of that too at times, right?
Okay.
You know, but then you have to stop and you have to pause. You have to recognize. I'm like, okay, what message are you giving? What are you telling your children? What are you telling your community? How it really all starts with you. So when I talked earlier about that foundation, and I made sure that, you know, my career was good and my children, my family was good. But guess what? They weren't. It wasn't that great because I wasn't great.
Okay.
I needed to work on me in order because everything
Right.
else was just like, it was just built on a shell. Like if you go to a studio, or if you went to Universal Studios or things of that nature, you will see that that's props. It might
Right.
look like a building, but that thing wheels along the side and then it's nothing.
Right.
Or if you go to a play and you watch them break down the set, and that's literally what happens. I built up these sets around me, and everything else was an empty shell. So it gave
Yeah.
Come on.
appearance
Come on,
of
teach.
everything was good. Everything was all right. I had my son in private school.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Right.
working at, in a
Yeah.
decent job. I attended school. I graduated. I got my degree. I was serving on boards. You follow what I'm saying? Like, so that all looked good on the
Yeah.
surface, but everything else was hollow and shallow. And so that's what we then give to everyone else. We give everyone else this hollowness, this shallowness, and that's what we're passing down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally what I
True.
see happening.
Yeah.
And that's why my film and everything that I do all stems around healing from past trauma and abuse. Now,
Yes.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The trauma does not have
Yeah.
to be my trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be you were molested or you were, had a sexual assault incident or anything of that nature. However, we talked about kids are in, foster care earlier offline.
Mm-hmm.
That's trauma.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked
Yep.
about,
Teach.
someone being sick, having to get, treatment. That's
Mhm.
trauma. Losing someone, losing a
Yep.
loved one. That's trauma.
Trauma.
Being domestic violence
Mhm.
related. That's like the list can go on
Trauma.
and on and on. It's trauma.
I mean,
Right.
It's trauma. So
it is.
it is. And
It
then
is.
here's the thing. Once you understand what it is and see that trauma allows you to react, not respond, react
Okay.
a certain way.
Teaching.
You don't, because when you respond, you
Yeah.
are conscious about what you're doing. You're making a
Okay.
clear,
That's right.
decisive,
Your control.
you're in control, making a decision, right?
Right.
And you respond because now you are assessing things.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do I take that red pill or do I
Yeah.
take that blue?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay attention to
Teach
these movies.
it.
You gotta pay attention
Teach.
to movies. The movies will break down our lives, right? It's
Right.
about a
Right.
choice. It's about a choice.
Listen, and it ain't no orange peel. If you can pay attention, it was never an orange peel option. It was
The
one
choice.
or the other.
One or the other. It's a choice. And
What
then
if
and
orange
then
peel-
with each
what-
choice,
I'm just trying to figure out where the orange peel
Okay,
came
purple.
from. What? Purple.
Together, they make purple. It's not a purple peel, man. Ain't no warm peel. It's either red or it's blue. It's either
Oh,
honest or
Carolyn,
real.
Carolyn. Hey, we talking. Me and you know what we talking about. You said red and blue peel, right? She brought up orange.
I said it wasn't an orange peel option because people always think they got another option. Like you can just play the field or play in the middle. You cannot straddle the fence. There is no warm. There is no purple. There is only
Okay.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
Miss
So
Red
so
Blue Peel.
so no. Let me clear this out first, Carolyn.
Yes,
We
yes.
talking about the Matrix. We talking about the Matrix, right?
yes, yes.
Selena, have you ever seen the Matrix?
It was a red and blue peel. But my point, is that there's more than
You had to make that clear. It's like, wait a minute. Like, look, she shaking her head. She had to come back. She had to come back.
Yeah, right. She's like, oh.
You had to come back. She's like,
Miss Taylor, go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
man.
I'm sorry.
No,
That's
but
not funny though.
Okay, but I agree. I told you.
But there's no in between. There's a choice. It's a yes
Right.
or a no.
right.
There's not a
Yeah.
maybe. It's kind of like when you say, "Do you
Yeah,
like
no
me?"
maybe.
Yes or no. You
Right.
got a circle, yes or no, right?
Right. There's no little area in between those letters.
There's
Yeah.
no area in between.
Yeah.
No,
There's no.
Yeah.
not
Mm-mm.
no gray
So,
area. But I totally
there's-
agree. I agree with you in terms of validation. Yeah, it's one thing that we're not passing down. one thing I'm learning that I don't like to hear, and that is when you see somebody else and it gives you this, in a sense, validation that you can be. And I have a problem with that, because we should have been validated from one, our parents, and
Right.
two, we should have been validated from God. You know what I'm saying? And so even if you wasn't validated by your parents, you should have been validated by God, him telling you that you are X, Y, and Z. He's so cute. He's so cute. He is definitely a Lashi Joyner. Hey, Lashi Joyner. Yes. but yes, like that's Lashi and Joyner. It's a Lashi Joyner. Hey, Jonathan. You're like, But yes,
I'm not
I do
even gonna get
believe with
into it.
validation. With validation, we are not passing down proper validation to
Right.
especially women. To me,
Right.
for women. And I know it's pop culture. I saw on the cover, I think it was Time, that Megan Thee Stallion is on the cover of Time, and she is supposed to be one of the 100 top influential people in the world. And I'm just like, okay, now I get that, but also, what then is she influencing? What does she represent? And that is what's troubling to me, because again, you're a representer of woman. We stand for who we are, and all I see is sex selling. I apologize. And when you're talking about, Miss Carolyn, validation about who you are as opposed to what you do, that's what everybody wants, including God. He wants you to love him for who he is and not what he can do for you. All of us want the same, so how does she make top 100 list? I said, okay, it's pop culture.
It's pop culture. It is pop culture. So when you peel back the layers or the non-layers, because she's oozes it, right? I think some people just naturally ooze it, whether they try to or not. And I think that's just her because of her build. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you really peel back the layers, because I had to say, what is up with her? Like, she's not in my generation, obviously, right? But I see her because it's pop culture. I still see her. So, I ask questions. Like, so what is this about her? And when I start peeling back some of the layers of who she is and what she stands for, I can see why they did that. Almost like why they made Lizzo, influencer, because of image, size, image. Although we still know that sex does sell, unfortunately. But when you peel back those layers, which is said, in order to be heard or seen, you have to be seen before you're heard.
Right.
When you can be heard,
exactly like we were when hip hop originated. We were about being heard as opposed to seen, because again, it was about who we were. So I totally get the culture, but I also get what we passing down generationally. When you put her or a representative like that at the top, then that says to children, hey, look up to this. And they may not have the knowledge to go back and peel layers. All they see is that surface value. And then what I see, as just a mature mind, is that double-mindedness. Like, who are you? Which one are you? Are you an activist? Are you standing or are you this? So I need you to be whole in one. You know what I'm saying? So represent the culture, but if you repping it, then it seems like you repping a culture that ain't whole. I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. But I totally agree. I know.
It's like I said, it's interesting. Everyone has their own walk. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own way of. So I would never, I can never say never, but I would hope that I would not put judgment on a person. That's why I said I had to peel back the layers. To that first, it was just like, well, first of all, because of who she is and the way and the image that's portrayed, you can't help but not see. You can't help but like it's in your face. It's like all of it is in your face. Like you can't.
And that's not judgment. That's not judgment. I'm just observing what you're projecting. So don't feel judged. If you feel judged, project
That's not a project. That's not a projection. That's not a projection. That's reality. That's real. That's
live and in color.
That's in color. What's another word can I say?
That's what they made jogging pants for. They got a t-shirt.
Jogging
pants. I get it. I do, but I again, I look at the generation. I look at the generation and how our generation is being infected, and I have to make sure that all of them, have proper models. And those models are seen, and those models are the ones we look up to.
Well, I mean, because
we are closing out a WBNC.
Let's break it down. So because of what we see, right? Because we see everything, right? And with being on quarantine and everyone was going to TikTok, I swear every single TikTok I saw was about being a savage. Little girls being a savage.
Do you see men influencing culture?
Men or women.
You are.
I've seen men on there talking savage. Like, so
did you not see a whole grown man savage?
I did see a whole grown man savage.
I'm so glad I ain't see that one, man.
No. I saw a whole grown man savage.
This is
So that's the culture. That's what we saw. That's how she can be on the cover or be represented because of this thing right here. And as people were and looking and replicating and doing, and you know what, you got it. So it's like we got to give people what they want. We got to give people what they want, and then
teach and what uncalculated cost. And what uncalculated cost. And I totally get it. I'm telling you, I know the way in which, of course, the world works. But I'm saying, can we look at the way that the world works? Because, like you said, this is influential when a whole grown man can now be savage. And then you don't even think about the term. This is how empty it is. We don't think about the definition of that term. Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What does it mean to be savage? That can't be a descriptive adjective of self. How do you identify? How do you readily identify with a savage mentality? When the truth of the matter is, man, as Black people, we really are giving and loving and caring and forgiving. We are the most forgiving. The most forgiving. I don't even want to talk about what's going on but we are the most forgiving.
Always been forgiving.
So
because it's we kind of have to, in order for self-preservation. Because what they say with forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for yourself. So we're forgiving because it's for our own self-preservation.
That's it. That's the truth. I mean, and we all the stuff going on. We are very forgiving. It's a lot of things that we could have, how we could have reacted, like you said. But now, like, I don't know. It's like almost in 8, we kind of like step back and think, sometimes it just comes too much for people. This is a lot that's going on in just 1 year. And then, of course,
what it is right now, Selena? We are all in trauma.
Teach, sis. We are.
This is all.
We are all in trauma
right now.
This is all trauma. Yes. So again, going back to what are we passing on generationally?
I gotta walk around
trauma.
Like this. Trauma. Because let's be real. Now this is acceptable because if we walked into a store, especially you, Will, if you walked to anywhere like this,
real.
If you walked anywhere like this, it would be something. Let me tell you how real this thing is. Wait a minute. I had an extra mask when everything started popping off and we couldn't really find any masks. So I had bought a couple of the sports masks. Now you can find them now, but because there weren't any surgical masks to be found or any other type of mask. So I thought outside the box and I said, okay, we're gonna get some sports masks with the little filters on them. We're gonna get those. We're gonna get some, bandana thing. I'm gonna find some other way, and we're gonna figure this thing out because I don't know what this thing is until stuff comes. So in the meantime, I let my son know. My son is 31. My son's 31. Tall, thin built, locks. He's black, so that's just enough right there, right? And I said, okay, I have an extra mask for you. I had bought, I had an extra black, I had a blue one for me. I have a blue one for me. I had a black one because I bought one for all of my kids because I'm not going to just buy one for me. I got to buy one for my kids too.
Right.
But a black one, a blue one, a black one, a blue one, and an orange one. Now, I technically wanted the orange one for myself because it was bright, right? This one was orange. So when I kept the blue one. And then I said, well, my daughter couldn't wear it because her, it didn't fit her right. So now I had an extra one. I said, okay. I told him, come pick up this mask. And he said, I said, there's a black and an orange one. Which one? He said, oh, give me the black. And then you know what he said? He said, oh, no, wait. Give me the orange one. I was like, why? He's like, the black one's going to look too threatening.
It's a threat. Yeah.
Ain't that why is that?
Why is that? Because that's what it's associated with.
I mean, I know, right? I know now. It's like it's just like what they were saying about us having to actually have a meeting whether or not Black people can be able to vote again. Like, why do we live in a society where you got to feel like it's a threat to put on a particular color?
Yeah. These are the unfortunates. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Will, can you relate to what my son was?
Oh, absolutely. So let's see. This was right when it was starting, the pandemic and whatnot, and so I started wearing a surgical mask, N95, right? It's a white mask, but then I flipped it up. I switched it on. I went and got a black one, and I started wearing it to the gas stations and stuff like that, and it was like almost night and day. Surgical mask, not a threat. Black mask, immediate threat. I had like a little collar thing that used to come up around my mouth like this, and it had a little hood to it. But I didn't wear the hood all the time. I would just wear the collar thing. I'm a threat, automatic. If it was black, I wear black now, but because that's everybody else wearing it also. But at the beginning of the thing, if it was white, it was all right. But black, people would clench at their purse, or they would watch you going through the store, and I'm used to it because I'm a black man. I'm used to it, but I don't want to teach my children to get used to it.
That's what trauma, and that's what
I don't want them to think that this is what they're supposed to expect when they go to the store. So like I make sure that I buy them colorful masks. I make sure that whatever they have on has a character on it. Like, I don't dress them in one color, like one monotone. Like we rarely ever go out in all black. If anything, we'll go out, we'll have fatigues on, or we'll have a white t-shirt. We don't even do white t-shirts around the house that often. No, because there's a stigma that comes with that.
With the whites, yep.
White t-shirt, right? There's a stigma that comes with that. So the boys, they have characters on their shirt, they got characters on their shoes. It's to keep them to understand that I don't want you to be afraid, but I want you to be cautious of your environment, because your environment will dictate if you come home at night. And you can create your environment by making sure that what you have on is not threatening. It doesn't look threatening. That's why I like dreadlocks and long hair and baggy clothes and all. We've been taught that that's a threat somehow, and it's really not. That's just how that person decided to dress that day. But society has portrayed it as that these things are associated with crime. These things are associated with misbehavior. These things are associated with drugs. That's why I'm so upset with the Breonna Taylor incident. Like, I'm just flying off the handle, because it was the thought process of the police officers was, oh, he's shooting at us. No, you breaking into their house.
Right.
He's not shooting at a random person. He's shooting at the thing that's breaking into his house.
Right.
It don't matter if it didn't matter if he was selling drugs. It didn't matter if he was running cats and dogs out of his house. I'm gonna shoot back too. I'm gonna shoot first too. The fact of the matter is, y'all sprayed this house up with what was like 35 bullets. Y'all sprayed and y'all put 6 of them in Breonna Taylor. And when you go to read the report, he even said it. He said he didn't see anybody. He just started shooting,
which is mindless. And
yeah, it's mindless. It's reckless. It's without any consent of human life. Because here's the thing: say it is a dope house, and say it is people in there. So you just telling me you just gonna start shooting into you don't know it's a dope house. You don't know who's in there. Children, nobody, babies, grandmothers, a whole family as far as you're concerned. But you just blindly shoot through a window 10 times. You empty half of your clip. Because you carrying a service weapon. You carrying a 12 clip. You carrying 12 bullets and you fired 10 of them without seeing a face.
Come on. Yeah, and that's again going back to trauma, going back to possible child abuse, kind of like looking over. What was the other guy who's now paralyzed? What is his name? Got it.
Why did that? Jacob Blake.
Oh my God, Jacob. And it's so crazy because the names in the list can go on, but even with his situation too. Now I totally get not being upset, not walking around and moving, just kind of like having an understanding with, but I get that part. Okay, fine. You want to hold them to that, hold them to that. But there were children present in a whole vehicle that you were not conscious of or aware of and could care less about. They screaming trauma.
They gotta live with that for the rest of their life.
Listen, bro, and this is what they do when we are in family court. When we're in family court, you know what they tell the parents? Your children should have never been in this situation to see that. You should have never placed them in. They get their children taken. They get their children removed. They get their children replaced. If their children was on the verge of going home, the whole case is stopped. And it could be going into another plan. A lot. They tell us that, in reference to the parent. But when you guys do it, that's not child abuse. It's not the same. I'm not understanding how it's not the same.
It's not the same because it doesn't hold the same value.
That right there. Who doesn't hold the same value? Who doesn't hold the same value?
Who don't hold the same value? That right there. They don't hold the same value. Right there. That right there. That comes with a value. That comes with a value.
I'm learning. We see, right?
Because I have I hate to say this, because when we went through the foster care program and we were getting signed up and everything, they were showing us some of the families that were coming through there, right? And they say you don't really choose between black, white, brown, Cuban, Haitian, all of what you kind of choose through is the grades. Like, are you willing to deal with C through F, right? Or you can deal with A and B, right? How difficult do you want to deal with a child? Yeah. And so they gave us an example. They said a C child is going to have some type of medication. They're going to have some type of doctor's appointments, and more than likely their parents have, have done something to them in an abusive way. Okay. Here's the tripped out thing. The first thing they say to you is the goal is to get the parent back with the child. But what they don't tell you, reunification. Reunification. What they don't tell you is that many times the parents are the reason. The parents are always the reason why the child doesn't want to be there. Because mama beating them, daddy beating them, somebody on drugs. So then you get the child all messed up because they don't want to go home. They want to live with you.
Right.
And I found out this. And I found out this.
Go ahead.
A lot of the C through F class comes from the southern Indiana area.
Ain't that something? Because you would think it would come from the north.
Yeah, you would think Gary. You would think You would think Hammond. You would think East Chicago.
Come on.
Nope. Nope.
It
Nope.
ain't. Our clientele was white.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And they try to make it like it was the black people. However, when I'm looking at cases, where you have a black parent who may be smoking marijuana. However, they house clean, they children clean, go to school, everything is fine except for this parent smokes marijuana. And you hold that case open like they doing something to child. I kid you not, I've watched it. And then you have Caucasian families. I mean, they could have a man in the home. They are crack, cocaine, heroin, meth. But they go to the methadone clinic and they get legally high. And they get to get their children back. And they get to participate in services. I literally took my client to get high before she participated in the business. I watch her work and participate in the business with her child high. I'm like, how is this even acceptable? And she throws the case. But I got another client over here who's black. I value. Black, she smoked marijuana. All her children stay clean, house stay clean, she clean, they got good grades. But because she smoked marijuana, I'm value. Like, when I tell even the judge had to either say, can I just get 30 days of clean screens? Because they had absolutely nothing on her and held her case open for 2 years. But wow. And I watched the crackhead cases, them closed right on. I can't make it up. And like you said, all of it is trauma, because to move from one house to the next house, that's already a traumatic situation. To be in a situation where you guys shelter the children, you don't really tell them the truth of what's going on. You tell them different stories. Sometimes you tell them too much, in which they are now playing off their parents. They got different ideologies because they don't know how to handle certain stuff. And so they got a certain type of feeling of their parents where it wasn't healthy. It wasn't taught healthy how to handle the situations and stuff. So we got a lot of stuff going on that we passing down like Pop-Tarts. Like Pop-Tarts. This is a different world, guys. I didn't expect to be living it in the 2020. I really thought we would have had like floating cars. I don't know about anybody else.
Like George Jetson.
Yes. And teleporting. But I didn't think that we were still talking about racism. I definitely didn't see that as so now we actually went off the air for WNC. Nobody would take us out. However, I was saying, did you have any final thoughts, Miss Carolyn, in reference to your story? One, like maybe final thoughts for other children who are possibly being molested and don't have a voice, don't feel like they have a voice, or a final thought in reference to our RockTruth topic.
You froze.
Oh darn! I knew I can hear I can hear the delay, so I'm kind of paused too. Did you hear me at all?
I heard you and then you stopped. So you said for children for a final thought.
Who are voiceless and possibly dealing with a traumatic situation, whether it's mental or physical or sexual abuse. Any message for them as far as, having a voice, and then anything in reference to our RockTruth topic. Final thoughts.
So, for a child, if anyone, has a child that might be in earshot listening to this, just know that, if you feel like something is wrong, then it's wrong. And then you go tell somebody. And you keep telling somebody until they listen. You keep telling somebody until they do something. You don't just tell and then now it's like, now they didn't listen to me, then you just shut down. You keep telling. You keep talking. You keep sharing. You keep informing and letting people know what's going on. So that's for anyone that's under 18 or whatever age. Now, for my adults, This one's really for my adults. Now, for my kids, I don't want you to get to this place, but for my adults, you know who you are. You know what you haven't said.
Mm.
You know what's been done. It's your time. This is your time right now to be able to share your voice. Be the voice. Like, I'm being the voice. I am sharing my story. Now, I can tell you, I share my story so that way someone else like you can then share theirs. And so what happens with that, when we're able to share our story, we're able to tell our truth, then it just releases this inner core of who you really truly are. And it allows yourself to shine and be, your, how they say, your real, true, authentic self. Like, you really become who you are meant to be. And then when you are able to walk into your greatness, then it can trickle into your children. And then it can trickle into your family, and then your community, your neighborhood, our nation. So there's a responsibility. So it's that choice, that red pill or that blue pill. There's no orange one, as Selena said. So which one are you going to take? Which one are you going to take? So one of them is going to let you stay and do everything as is.
Teach them.
And you think that's the easy route, but that's just going to make things harder. See, but when you choose to do things that are hard, it's going to actually make life more easier for you.
Wow.
So,
wow.
It's your choice.
That's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Final thoughts, Will.
That is the truth, man.
You still upset about Breonna Taylor?
I'm upset about Breonna Taylor, but I've been reading a lot of, and you might have seen this in the group chat, but I've been reading a lot of Ecclesiastes, and I get it. I do, just reading through that and understanding the two voices that are involved and the premise of the entire text. And I can't help to wonder just how this all blends together, how all this works. And I have to, because for me, especially for me, I am working on being fearful of God and his reverence, and being understanding and knowing that he is still God, regardless of what may be transpiring on this level, that he still has it all in control. And so, and it's hard to watch the world go through these trials. It's really difficult to feel all of these different emotions and to have to work with all of these, because I work with a lot of awkward people when it comes to religious beliefs, when it comes to theologies, when it comes to ideologies. And I'm managing all of that. And I know y'all are too. And people's mindset sometimes, like, I don't even mind people having extreme left or extreme right or just extreme thoughts in the first place. What I have a problem with is, don't try to convince me to be you. Don't try to convince me to think like you. I'm not trying to convince me. I'm not trying to convince you to think like me. So don't put me in that capsule or that bubble that forces me to become angry at you because you want to be angry about whatever you angry about. I ain't got time to be angry. I don't have time to be flustered. I got a wife and kids to take care of, and so I can't spend any time wasted trying to fix your fear. When I gotta work on my fears first. I gotta work on my dilemmas first. So I praying for the world it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's definitely challenging. I mean, but it's also our task. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
been given. And so no, it's the truth. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
given, and so we have to do what we're called to do, in the midst of. And so, I mean, I totally get it. I get it. I get the frustration. I can't stand watching the news. I can't. I don't want to look at the replays. Everything is gloom and doom. Everything is death culture. Everything is death. Everything we even are taught to look forward to is death. Like we have so much anxiety. A lot of that starts with just the anxiety of dying.
Yep.
That can just continue to ruminate and ruminate and ruminate. And then now to even go with how, like you can't even think about dying peacefully in your bed. You have to
No.
literally
Am I
you
gonna
in your
drown?
bed in your bed like you're supposed to be. Like I was not out at the club. I was not. I wasn't
Man.
drinking. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't. It's so much going on, and yeah, I think that we definitely want to pay attention to what it is that we are personally passing down, what you handing down, the little torch that you handed down. Because the truth of the matter is, we're passing down our own skeletal remains. We're passing
Right.
down a little bitty, copy of us. And what is that copy? And what does that represent? And what does that
Yeah.
say? It's scary because again, I'm feeding somebody with the possibility of poisoning you.
Yeah.
And we get mad, we get upset when somebody comes along and say, "Hey, don't eat that. That's poison." And you're like, "Why you have to tell me it's poison?"
Right.
I thought you wanted to know, So I
Nope.
think again, we're passing down all of these, misinformations, the lack of validation or proper validation. Like we're passing down all of this stuff generationally, and they are accepting it, not knowing, how to handle it and what to do. And so, if anything, be just careful and leery about what you personally
Right.
are representing and what you personally are trading to the
Yeah.
next generation, because
Yeah.
that's your responsibility. And you're
Yeah.
supposed to bring back a return better than what you were given, and definitely not the same.
Woo. Cause it
It
rough.
was it is a great show, guys. I am so happy to be able to rock truth with y'all today. Thank you so much, Miss Carolyn, for everything. Are we doing our kickoff? Because we're supposed to have our kickoff.
Yes, we can
I
still do
see.
it. Rock proof. Okay. Yes, we can still do our kickoff. Are you kidding me? Yes.
So we have our weight loss challenge. You gonna throw you about to
Weight
go
loss
take that.
challenge.
Yes, yes. And we had started this about a month ago, Miss Carolyn. You want to give a
Yes.
little bit of details and reference to it? It's a 7-day challenge. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. That she didn't start telling about it. You just asked me to tell it.
I'm
Go,
sorry. I
go
know, right?
for
I'm
it.
like, go ahead.
Just
You
go ahead.
good?
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's definitely a seven-day weight loss challenge, but it's more so, as we were going through it, it really didn't have nothing to do with the pounds. You know what I'm saying? It had more to do with um the things in your life that you need to, in a sense, let go, whether that was mental, spiritual, physical, and just getting into proper position of planning your day so that you could handle the things that's coming your way. Being able to consume properly. We talked about consumption levels, and not just the food, but also the mental garbage. Because for
Yes.
me, I just can contest to that was the real difference. It was once I started controlling what I brought in mentally, I didn't want junk physically. You know what I'm saying? Like it's getting real for me right now. I can't be around garbage. Like
Yeah.
I
I
can't be
don't
around
blame you.
garbage minds. I'm like, ooh,
Right. Gotta go.
take out, take out the trash. No, this was a great group. We had a nice size of women that accepted the challenge, including one man. That
Yeah.
was pretty dope. But the challenge was really about challenging yourself to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was about good 40 people that are in the challenge that are
Oh,
still in the
okay.
group. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, which is great. And they're from all over the world. So it's
Right.
not
Right. Right. Right.
like literally, South Africa, from UK,
Yeah.
Canada, Toronto, and throughout the whole United States. So just everyone coming together because of one, being in this quarantine-ish thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, everybody gained all this weight. We talk about that freshman 15. We got that
quarantine 15.
Yes, that quarantine 15.
Yes.
And so here it is, everybody was gaining all this weight in quarantine.
Yeah.
I was still losing weight.
Yeah,
because a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And as I one of those pictures that was floating up there earlier, and I said, one of the things that I posted, I said, listen, I lost 70 pounds. I said, but it wasn't 70 pounds. It wasn't pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look at it as pounds. I said it was 70 pounds of burdens that I no longer wish to carry.
Yeah. There you go. You got rid of that baggage.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that baggage.
Baggage and all them people you had with you, too.
Yeah.
Them was people. People don't. I saw that one you was lifting down with her. I said, look at all them people with Miss Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot of people that were protecting her. That's all that is. It be just added on protection.
You just keep going. Just keep going. Just adding. I'm like,
I'm telling you, you try to cover. That's your cover. Like, it become comforting. And then, just go, I don't even want, that's like a whole nother show to go into the mentality, like you said, the trauma of mental abuse and how you deal with it. Some children don't even take baths and stuff because they would rather smell so that you feel like, hey, you won't come and bother me because I stink. Like, it's all of that. I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's a lot that goes on with it, and
you don't want to. And then the thing is, and then here's the thing, and it carries over into as an adult, subconsciously, because you'll get to a phase, because we all had those phases where it's like, I'm going to wear a whole bunch of baggy clothes.
There you go.
I don't want nobody to see my figure.
I want nobody to see it.
I don't want you to. I don't want attention. I don't want you to look at me.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and we do that. And that comes from, that subconsciously, if you've been violated, right? Or just taking it into a whole nother level. If you're not feeling well about yourself, how do you feel? Like, that's why I was saying earlier when I was changing everything, I was like, okay, I should have put on my red, because I was telling everybody put their red dress on. We got Johnny Gill says, put on that red dress, like put that on, right? But it's something about red. Like, red, it's just colors, period. Whenever you wear something bright and something that's colorful, it just illuminates you, like, because it's colorful, right? And it just makes you happy. It puts you in a whole different state of being, state of mind. When you put on black subdues you. Black allows you to hide. Black allows you to fade the black. Why do they call it fade the black? Because you just kind of fade in the background, and you're not seen, you're not heard, you don't exist, right?
Nope.
White,
which is how
attractive,
you want it,
right? White is attracting, but why is he? Hello, Will, what's going on? He frozen. He like,
I think he like frozen.
Okay. I know, I was like, his face is like,
that he goes.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yes, and this is
so like I said, when you have white,
go ahead. I'm sorry. We got comments coming
anyway, so like I said, when you wear white is representative of purity and cleanliness. And we wear white and we feel like, okay, we feel good in our white. But it's something about when you wear colors. It's something about colors. Colors are colorful, and it just brings out something more like vibrant in you. So like red, confidence. Look up the science behind colors. That's all I'm going to say. There's a science behind colors, and literally, you literally can shift your atmosphere, your being, just by the colors that you wear. Like I told you earlier, I had on something gray that had these little pops of colors, and as soon as I transitioned, then all of a sudden I just illuminated. I was like, okay, all right, here we go. Let's do this. So
right.
So yeah,
and you look gorgeous. You look amazing. Yeah. You look amazing. Seriously,
I try to
put
it together.
Go.
I put it together a little bit every now and then.
You did that, and you did that well. So Will had to go. He said his wife is not feeling well. So shout out to Lashi and the children. It's okay, Will. We're good. We're just going to wrap it up or whatever.
You.
Shout out to Tyron Joe. Thank you for listening in, King. Yeah, I was singing a little bit, but she talking about some put on that red dress and slip on them high heels. And Tyron Joe gonna say, and put some of that sweet perfume. Yes, Tyron.
Yes.
That red dress will make a man get on one knee. Will it, Ty? Will it? We gotta make sure we tell the ladies to get on a red
Make
dress.
sure you have a red dress, ladies. Yes, always have a red dress.
I gotta go red, but I think I'm like you. I got blacks and whites, and I switch
black and white is
to
good.
give me a red dress.
We get you a red dress.
Mm-hmm. I need me a red dress. That's right. And then on top of that, like I gotta get more stuff anyway, because like you know, I done lost people. So I can't even fit the black dresses that are in my closet.
I lost a
5-year-old.
What you talking about? 70 pounds.
Girl, come on.
I lost a whole human being.
A whole human. Like, I'm serious. Like, what? Yeah. And you can feel it, and you feel the difference, and it's definitely amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So okay, so how are we gonna do our kickoff? Are we coming back, or what are we doing? We're going another stream or what? We're kicking off or what? Because we can get with a Will or what?
Okay. So we're gonna do another.
We're just gonna get rid of Will.
We can get rid of.
It's up to you. Oh, you tell me. We can do whatever. We can do whatever we want. Let me tell you. See, going back to nope. I'm gonna save it for the next one because we're discussing limits for me, and that's what this journey is about for me. I love that smile. It's that podium, and limits. There are no limits. We can do what we want.
We can do what we want,
and I love it.
Yep.
And I love it.
So how about?
So what would you like to do?
Let's create a new one, so that way it stands apart. Okay. And we'll do that because we already mentioned it here. So people who stayed on and listened to us the whole time, they'll get it. But see, but now we got to tap into a whole new audience now.
Yes. Now we have one person who Tyron wants to call in real quick. Before we log off of here, and then we're going. Are you're gonna create it, or I'm creating a platform for it? What are we doing? Well, we're waiting on Ty to call in.
You can create it. It's fine.
You sure? Because it's from I don't want it to come from the wrong link. It's not the magnificent.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I'll create it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I want it to be the same, stream from my last one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
See? Oh, I see. I hear you singing, Queen. Okay.
Yes,
look,
girl.
I had to put my little spectacles on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
That go Ty. Hold on and bring him in. What's going on, Ty? What's going on, brother? Tyron.
Good afternoon, good evening. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Doing wonderful, King. Doing wonderful.
Yes. How are you?
Put on that red dress.
Come on now, brother.
Give me that sweet perfume.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome. That's one of my favorite Johnny Gill songs right there.
Yes, it is. How are you? How's New York?
I'm doing good. New York is cool. I mean, I'm in the hotel right now just chilling. I ain't doing too much tonight. And I said I was on Facebook. I was oh, my sister's online. I gotta go over there and support. I gotta rock truth tonight.
I know that's right.
Rock some truth.
I know that's right, brother. We thank you so much for calling. Always a pleasure and a joy. So we got you back. I think we had you last week. I'm going to still ask you the question though, real quick, brother. What are we passing down generationally that is either good or bad to the next generation? Like, what are we passing them down? What torches are you personally passing down that's negative or positive?
Oh, Okay, because what what I am in the midst of trying to pass down is peace and positivity, enlightenment. Okay, this is what we talked about last night. Is like really something that I really me personally have started to hone in on is the words that I use, because I'm really starting to notice words have power.
Teach King.
And a lot of times people know me to be that funny person. I say crazy, make people laugh. I also know some people out there really believe in the words that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Really believe in my character. That's who I am.
Right.
I got to start really, distinguishing and letting people know, no, that's not me. At the end of the day, who I am,
Okay. I know that the video, we're right here. We didn't hear you all the way, but the video caught it. And I heard like a majority of what, you were saying in reference to just again, what these words that are coming out your mouth and what it is you are representing, and people are really believing, those two people to be the same. Like I totally get that. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. So yeah, you're dead on. You're dead on with that. Yeah. But I'm seriously.
No, I was going to say your words. It's interesting. You talked about changing for positivity. So, your thoughts. Here's the thing: your thoughts become your words. Your words become your action. Your action becomes your character. And at the end of the day, that's all you really have.
Actions.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. And just like you went forward, you can take it right on back to root cause. And guess what? That was your character. That was your character the whole rest. That's who you are. You know what I'm saying? And we've had a lot of doubles out here. We got some double-minded folks. They don't walk it like they talk it. They don't listen to Migos. They don't listen to Migos.
Come on and teach. Come on and teach. Okay, that's something else I want to say that we are passing down to our generation that we next to. I've been hearing y'all talking about weight loss. Is that we passing down high blood pressure and diabetes, and that's something that really we got to hone in on, because when this COVID-19 hit, I don't know if people really was paying attention, but they really was trying to target the African American community. I listened to Bill Gates' wife. She talking about the first one that we want to help is the lower and status community, which would be the Black community. Right. She said this.
Right.
Now, I might be paraphrasing, but she said them the ones that she wanted to help out. So, we really got to take our health serious, because, a lot of times, we just do stuff and not know what we're doing. And people have the attitude of, well, you got to die from something.
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah, right.
I can't pass that down. I can't pass that down to my kids. You got to die on something. So eat whatever it is you want to eat.
Teach King. Like you said, I can't pass that down to my children. That's yes, you're absolutely right. Bad eating habits. Like I just told people, like seriously, I stopped eating crab legs and shrimp. And it's so amazing to me. Yes, I'm done, because
no cocktails.
No, it's a wrap, because I like just educating yourself, and again, inputting in garbage. And so now I'm like, I actually question, like, okay, why can't we eat this stuff? It was never made totally clear to me why God said not to eat it. And so I saw an article. An article was it came up. I tell you, these phones know stuff. They be listening to us. But an article ended up coming up in reference to lobsters and crab, and specifically why God said not to eat it. And it was saying that they are actually the bottom feeders. They eat off of the dead fish, and they actually will store up dead carcass to eat it later. They pretty much clean up the boo-boo and all this other stuff, and then they sell this to us as a delicacy and overcharge us like we're not eating the bottom of the barrel. This is crazy to me. And I said,
Before 2006, I used to love eating shrimp. When 2006 came, I became allergic, like very allergic, like and yeah, I couldn't eat it no more.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I was depressed. I was sad because I love eating shrimp. But when 2006 came, I could not eat shrimp anymore. Yeah.
yeah. And they said, what is it full of? Like iodine or something is supposed to be bad for us. But again, consumption
I
levels.
don't even know what it's full of.
I know one thing it's full of, and that is dead carcass. And you are what you eat. That includes the shrimp and the crab legs. And so it's like now they are what they eat. And now I'm what they eat. Because now I am what I eat. Like it's so again, all of the weight loss and just the consumption levels. And like you said, we are passing down bad eating habits, eating big old, you know, just heavy food that we had to make it off this, but now we don't.
And you know what? It's so funny because I can admit now I don't for the first time in months I went to Popeyes. Oh my gosh, to get some chicken. Girl, let me tell you,
the rice be on point.
Man, let me tell you, I tried to told you. Oh my gosh. But guess what? Guess what else happened? My body was like, it probably tastes good. Like, oh my gosh, like what was I been missing? But at the same token, it wasn't satisfying. And my body was like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
we don't do that. We don't do that. So I'm like, okay. But before that was a staple. That's what I would go to all the time. And that's where we're talking about passing that down. Like that was, okay. Oh, I'll get a $20 bucket. Okay. Yeah. Give me the sides, give me a mac and cheese, give me this, give me all of that, and that I don't got to cook.
Let me tell you, Mom,
I don't have to cook for a couple of days. Yeah, but I might not have to cook for a couple of days, but I'm gonna stay in the toilet for a couple of days because it not doing anything for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving me any nutrients. It's not giving me any. Yeah, it's not doing anything for me, but messing me up.
Yep, messing your body up. Yeah, we had like one of the holistic jerks on, and she was talking about, she was like, "Do you smell what comes out? Like how your boo boo smells?" She said, "Now understand this. This was in you. What was it that you really consumed that it came out smelling like this? This is like so." Now I'm looking at
Popeye's chicken.
Man smell like cotton candy.
No, you know what? Now I smell like cotton candy. Oh my goodness. Well, we thank you, brother, so much for calling in seriously and showing mad love. Go ahead, and if you can let everybody know when your show is on.
Okay. BZNZ, we come on every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And this coming Thursday, we're gonna still be talking about qualities of a successful relationship.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go deeper on that. But I want to say this real quick. Dave, I know what you talking about with the Popeyes chicken. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since I done ate chicken. And me and Popeyes, we was in a committed relationship together. And every Wednesday, seriously, every Wednesday, back in 2010, Popeyes had a 8-piece special after 4 o'clock. You can get it for $4.99.
This is real.
I used to go to bed Tuesday nights dreaming about that 8-piece special.
Are you for real?
I was gonna get on Wednesday.
Are you for real?
I'm trying to tell you. I was close to 400 pounds. I'm trying to tell you.
Are you for real, Ty?
Me and Popeyes was in a committed relationship.
What do you wear now? What do you weigh now?
I mean, I'm close to 300 now. I'm not nowhere near 400.
Oof. Wow.
And that's just me gaining it back over the years because I lost over 100 pounds. I lost about 130 pounds, but I done gained some of it back now.
Wow. Kudos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That means you had to break up with Popeye. I understand.
Yeah, we had to break up.
Yeah. I totally get it.
Every Wednesday.
Man,
That's real.
And well, hey, that red beans and rice be kicking though. With 2 biscuits and some honey. I'm telling you.
Yes, it does.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. I was like, what have I been missing? But my body clearly reminded me. It was like, we going down that road. No, I don't think so.
And that's another thing too, Miss Carolyn. My body reminds me, like I start sometimes feeling like a small bit of like gut by my, little small.
I felt so bad. I had to make me a salad real right quick.
I'm not going back.
Yeah, I had to make me a salad. I said I need some earthy stuff in my body. I think that there was no nutrients, nothing. It was nothing.
But thank you, Ty. Thank you, Miss
Carolyn.
Both of y'all got y'all out. What do you call those? I'm like lost for words. It's a Friday. Platforms, and we're all on the same journey, man.
Yes.
I know y'all. I'm serious.
I'm glad to know you. Shout out to both of you. Shout out to the queens that's on the line holding it down tonight. Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
All right now. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
You welcome.
I'll make the girl pull out that red dress.
She gonna pull out that red dress.
Oh, watch out there now. Have a good night now.
Okay, Ty.
All right, you too. Thanks for calling in.
I love you too. Bye.
All right, guys. So I'm definitely going to let's end the show with and get ready for our next show. So just send me the link. Thank you. Shout out to Miss Carolyn. Make sure you let us know when the show, your movie airs, premieres. That's the proper word.
Yeah, well, right now it's at Change Fest. So they go to Change Fest 2020. It's premiering now.
Okay, so you can just go to the Change Fest thing. Was that the link that you sent us?
Yeah, I think, did I send you a link? I think I did send you a link. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we were looking for it. Then it just sent us. It was like something with Vimeo. It just sent us like we couldn't see it, and it just sent us to Vimeo for the trailer. I'm mad about it.
Right. Because that's where the actual film is there. So it's like going to the movie. So you go to the film festival. Yeah, that's where that's the film festival.
Okay, now my question is this, because I don't have cable. I have the internet and Roku. Mm-hmm. And so I take it. I sure do. And so, are you on any of those? Like, are you on any of the stations or
not yet? That's why we got to go through the festivals. And we got to get people to be on it and look at it and get the word out. And it's been I think it's the third. I think I have 13. I've been featured in 13 festivals now, which is that's great.
Shoot,
that's huge. Right. Yeah, I got those little wreaths. They're called laurels, so that means that it has some validity to it. So it's like, okay, so it's coming, Yes, but in the meantime,
that's it.
That's the route you got to go. So check it out.
I didn't know it went like that, but that's pretty cool to know. Like I said, I learned so much.
Yeah, listen, I'm learning. I'm a first-time filmmaker, so I'm learning. So
wow.
Yeah. All God, man.
That's it. Good. I'm so happy you my Elizabeth girl. I'm happy you went before. So
God's got it. God's got it. God's got it.
Well, guys, we're gonna get ready and go ahead and close out our show. We thank you guys so much. We thank you, Tyron, for calling in. Shout out to RockTruth, our family. Shout out to everybody who couldn't be here tonight. God bless y'all. Shout out to Will and Shantae. You know what I'm saying? And to WBNC Radio, we thank you guys so much. Don't forget to tune in next week, Friday, 5 p.m. Now we're about to get ready for our fitness challenge, weight loss challenge, 7-day challenge. We'll be back on live in just a second. And to do another kickoff because, health is important, but holistic.
Yes, health is important. We're going to do it under Magnify Your Essence.
Yes, Magnify Your Essence. Go ahead. You can go to the YouTube link right now, Magnify Your Essence, and subscribe to the page. Subscribe to RockTruth Radio so you can get all of our alerts, and we will be sure to see you next week. Thank you, guys. Peace. Continue rocking. Bye, Will.